Hello and good morning. I am so excited. I'm a few days away from being 2 months post hip replacement surgery, and I am feeling strong enough in my walking that I can go back to vlogging, and I'm so happy about that. It was taking me a lot of brain power to walk before. And so now I can make some more videos. So on that note, what I wanted to talk about today was doing new things. And I have some pretty intense classes coming up here at the end of the month. My women's only pleasure mapping and energy play workshop in the afternoon, and then the Squirting Orgasm workshop in the evening. These are going to be on July 30th in Las Vegas. And I was just thinking back to when I started my journey, and I'm getting a lot of reminders of what it's like to be doing something for the first time, because of course I'm doing these things for the first time with my new hip. So I am experiencing a lot of trepidation in trying to do things that I haven't done yet with my new hip, and a lot of these things have been causing me pain for years and years, pain in my hip, and it's like, wow, I remember back to before I got into sex education, and the whole reason I got on this path was because I was trepidatious, and I wasn't feeling physical pain at that time, but it was like an emotional, mental frustration level that I was having around my sex, because I could not climax. I was very frustrated. I could barely, like once or twice a week, I could climax, and that was with my partner. And if I wanted to take the time to try to climax in masturbation, a lot of times, like, I would have to go so long, my fingers would be pruned from masturbating that long. So I don't know if you can relate to that, but I was just so frustrated and dismayed, and that's kind of how my sex had been for a long time, a really long time. And did not start changing until I started getting into learning about pelvic floor mapping and pleasure mapping and feeling what was there and giving myself time to explore with no agenda, no goal. So that started the journey, and then I really got into it with the orgasmic meditation practice. That really took it to the next level. So, when I teach people now, I incorporate lessons from all of those things, and now I'm bringing in the tantra, the energetic play, the very sensational things, and also the spiritual component when that's appropriate. It's like, it really is really beautiful. Now, I had a big shift. I was in that situation until about 2018, because I was on antidepressants, and when I came off of those, I became a lot more climactic. But I would say I was already extremely orgasmic because of these practices. So whatever it is that's holding you back or stopping you from reaching climax, there's still a lot of pleasure to be had, even if you're not getting like the big O. Even though the big O is great, don't get me wrong, being in the moment, experiencing the pleasure that's there, not being goal-oriented, not having that pressure, performance pressure, that's the worst. Those are all really important to having a better experience. So these are things that you learn how to implement when you go to my classes, because I actually give you the tools to implement them. I give you ways to discuss it with your lover. I give you ways to practice it on yourself. You have a chance to participate in a guided practice right there at the end of class if you feel comfortable with that. And I understand the trepidation. I mean, like I said, I'm going through it myself right now, that trepidation of trying something new, especially so intimate. You know, it's like between your legs. It's in the core of yourself. Especially sexuality is such a big part of our personality, our humanity. And so trying something new, so many things could come up. And especially if you're doing it with a partner, it's just like, oh my goodness. I had an experience last night and I didn't even want to try certain things because I was like, you know, I have not done these certain things for years without pain, first of all. Second of all, I have movement restrictions, and luckily I feel really grateful because I have those tools of communication and discernment, and I was able to communicate my concerns in such a way that he heard them. And I also have fears like, oh, I'm afraid I'm being bossy. And he was like, no, I'm glad you're telling me what you want. Usually he even told me, usually he has to like pull it out of his partner. Like, you know, can you give me coaching? Can you give me feedback? So that was really nice feedback to receive, that I was doing well, communicating. And then also it was so nice because I got to see the results of my discernment. You know, it's all well and good to be able to communicate, but if you don't pick someone that can actually receive your communication, then it's not going to matter. So I got to see the results of my discernment and saying yes to meeting with this gentleman and being with him, because I discerned that he was actually someone that could receive my requests, my fears, my judgments, and hold that space for me. And it was really, really powerful. So it gives me hope. It gives me hope for the future in my personal life. I've been really, I don't know if stagnant is quite the right word, but there's been a lot of sticky places because of my hip. So it's like whatever it is for you that's been causing you to have a sticky place, you know, going to trainings and getting out of your normal routine is going to be a very quick way for you to have some results and have some change, have a new experience. You have to change in order to have change. Now, look, coming to my class or event isn't the only way to get better. I could totally recommend books. I'm happy to do that. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. There's plenty of resources. I just know for me, being in the space of someone who's done it, there's something about that transmission of someone who's actually been in the work and actually has done it. I get this transmission from them. Like, yes, they're giving me possibly the same information that I would be getting out of the book, but it's almost like my system, I don't know, this is kind of woo-woo. It's almost like my system, my nervous system is like, oh, well, they did it. That means I can do it too. Or like, it's possible. I see how they practice it in their life. It moves it from being this intangible, ideological, theoretical thing in the book to being like, oh, here's the real lived experience of someone, the facilitator, who can actually talk about the ins and outs, the nitty-gritty, you know, the obstacles that come up, rather than just giving me the how-to. So yeah, everyone definitely has to play at their level, and that's cool. But I want to invite you to come play at my level, at my classes in the end of the month, and wrap up Juicy July. Oh my gosh, talk about a start and stop month. I had been wanting to start talking about the juiciness back in the beginning of June, and I just couldn't. And that's the thing, following things, going with the flow. Whoop, that was 10 minutes. I'm going so far, so fast. Anyways, I was wanting to start talking about the juiciness of female arousal all the way back in the beginning of June, and I just had to listen to my body and give my body time to heal. I mean, I couldn't help it but listen to my body, because my body was just saying no. So listen to your body is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Listen to your body. If your body is a no, that's fine. No pressure, no expectation. If it's not a no, but it's not necessarily a yes, then I invite you to get curious as to what is coming up for you, because that could be something that needs to be navigated. It's possibly, if it's holding you back from coming to my class, then it might also be holding you back in other areas of your life. So all these classes also come with a mini coaching session before and after class. So that's like a $500 value right there. And I do that so that everyone is oriented to the class and knows what to expect and knows what they want to get out of it. Like, it helps you have a better experience during the class. So I wanted to put that on there for you. So yeah, okay, I think I'm coming to the end of my message now. I truly appreciate you all for watching. If you're still here, please leave me a comment or an emoji. And I look so excited to be able to walk so well again. I look forward to doing more of these. Although when I get back to Las Vegas, it's going to be hot. I'll have to do them really early in the morning. Yeah. All right, well, make it a sexy day. If I can turn it off. There it is.